But the evidence will show that my client was not only released by the police, but that they were informed of an impending trip whose sole purpose was to help care for the family, and also were kept informed of Mr. Jagger's whereabouts on his trip out of the country. David's grandparents were in town from Israel. They're elderly. They were already planning to return to Israel. And so David Sr. sent his son to Israel with his grandparents, and he left on January 3rd, some 5 days after his arrest. At the time that he left, there was no charges and no restrictions on where he could go. And he stayed in Israel for a little over a month before returning to the United States. And when he returned, Mr. Jagger asked for advice. He asked if any charges were being filed against him. He talked to the detectives, who said there were no charges and there were still no restrictions on his travel. So David Sr. approved his son leaving once again.
Cassidy, what do we do?
Well, as your legal representative, I can tell you he has not been charged with anything yet, but it could happen at any point.
So then we should look at getting him back out of the country then?
I can't give you that advice, Dave.
Why would I leave the country? I'm innocent. Innocent people do not run away. It's not running, Davy. It's not giving them a chance to grab you without us being prepared. I'm not saying be on the run forever. I'm saying you go to somewhere and wait for us to make plans. And what am I supposed to do there? I have a wedding planned in 12 weeks, Dad. Am I just supposed to leave Cordella sitting there, wondering when her fiancé might show up again?
Hey, guys, I thought it might be time for a lunch break. I had Martha prepare you boys some snacks and sandwiches.
Thank you, Molly. Love, we appreciate it, but we are having a very serious conversation here. Why don't you just leave them on the table over there, and we'll get to them?
Sure thing, sweetie. Gotta keep my boys nourished.
Davy, I do think it's wise to give us the most time to get out in front of this. Now, I can hold things off for a fair amount of time, but your father is right. It could be just one thing that they latch on to, no matter how small, and this thing could get away from us quickly.
Then that decides it, son. I'm going to book you on the next flight out. I'll handle Cordelia. She is a good girl from a good family, and she knows her part in all this. We'll take care of it all. Son, go pack some bags, and I'll have a driver take you to the airport.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence will show that this case is full of reasonable doubt regarding the alleged actions of David Jagger, Jr. Miss Evans said in jury selection, "We don't need any help." We don't need any help either. We want a fair trial. That's all we want as well, a fair trial on the evidence. You're going to see during the course of this trial some pictures, and they're going to be gruesome, and they're going to be awful. The pictures prove that Janet Bell indeed was brutally and repeatedly raped, tortured for 12 days, and held against her will. But the pictures don't prove who did it. So ask yourselves when you see the pictures, where is the blood on the Mercedes? Where is the blood on the defendant's clothes? There'll be no blood on David. There will be no DNA belonging to David. There will be no hairs, no fingerprints, or clothes with blood on them, because David Jagger Jr. is not responsible for these crimes. Simply stated, he is not guilty. Thank you. My name is Perry Ball, 62 years of age, living in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am reading the role of James Cassidy.